I like this episode, guys. I didn't mean to freak you out, but I mean, this episode was some prime shit. I mean, damn, that is what I'm talking about. You take some expanded universe lore from the Kaizenshu's and stuff, and you dust that over episodes. That's what you do, and that's what this episode did. Dragon Ball Super episode 86. And you know what? It starts off in a way that I didn't even think they were going to take it. I thought this entire episode was just going to be Goku arriving on the island with 17, and then that's the big reunion episode, of course. But no, they took it to some extra steps they just added some extra stuff. Not really that really integral to the full episode, but it really gave us a bigger scope, you know? So, or just initially, like, Goku goes to see Dende to find out where 17 is. Right, and then Dende tells him, oh, there's this island in the southern region, you want me to take you there. And I thought all that was going to amount to was just, Goku puts his hand on Dende's shoulder, and through a combination of, like, instant transmission and Dende's guidance, he can be like, zip, zip, okay, there you go, have fun, Goku, bye. No, the fucking... I mean, this makes sense. It comes out of fucking nowhere, but it makes sense. The Lookout can move. I mean... Obviously, right? Dende is the guardian of Earth, and the whole point of that palace thing, which is situated in the freaking stratosphere, the whole point of that thing is so you can look down and observe what's happening on the Earth, and it's just floating up there, so obviously it could move, right? So yeah, Dende just physically moves the Lookout. I mean, I could bring up why this was never brought up before in the story, but then again, they've never really had a situation in the story where they're like, we really need to go somewhere that we can't just go already with flight or with Goku using instant transmission. Remember, you can't feel an android's ki. I don't know if that was ever actually given an explicit reason why you can't feel ki, other than you just can't feel life energy, but Android 17 is a living thing. It's part of him's machine, but whatever. So they move the actual physical Lookout. And by the way, little side note with that is something I'm glad they touched upon. Goku's power pole, which is actually still connecting Korin's tower to the Lookout. They actually had a scene included where that retracts back up into the Lookout so they can move. So that way it's not like the Lookout starts moving and then all of a sudden Korin's tower just breaks off and oh shit, Korin's like bouncing around the thing like, oh, what's going on? No, they actually make a point to show the power pole retract. So I'm like, thank you. Just little scenes like that really mean a lot to me. I don't know about you, but they mean a lot to me. While they're en route to this island, Goku is talking about 17 and like, what happened? Does he still want to kill me? And Dende's like, oh no, heavens to Betsy, no. He's fine. He's reformed. He's on the island. He's helping out. He's fending off poachers. He's defending the poor, defenseless, cute little animals and the bunny wabbits and the deer and the little squirrelies and everybody. He's a nice guy. He's a cool guy. And he's gotten stronger. And as Mr. Popo said, and I don't think Mr. Popo gets a lot of lines. I think everyone knows about Mr. Popo from the Abridged series. That's like the most... But you remember in the actual story, Mr. Popo don't do shit. He doesn't do anything. He's in the background like, you've been paying attention a lot in space lately, Goku. You're not paying attention to what's going on down here on Earth. And with that being the case, they bring up Uub. Now, Uub has been brought up before in Dragon Ball Super. I think it was like it was right before the Universe 6 tournament. And I think it was one of the King Kai or Yema. Somebody told Goku about Uub's existence. Like, there's this kid on this remote place that's the reincarnation of Kid Buu. And I guess Goku just forgot about him for a little bit whenever Dende brought up, like, oh yeah, there's also this really strong kid on this island in this remote place in the world, but he's going to get really strong too. And of course Goku's like, I don't know who you're talking about, but if he's just a little kid, I can't bring him. And then that's when they bring up, no, Dende's like, no, he's the reincarnation of Buu. And Goku's like, oh yeah, I know that kid. So there you go, there's Uub. You know what? They're setting up stuff for the end of Z, and I know that sounds weird, but remember, the very end of Dragon Ball Z takes place 10 years after Goku defeats Kid Buu. At the current point we are in the story, we're only maybe a few years since Goku defeated Kid Buu. Super started like a few months afterwards, and since then we've gone through at least probably like 2-3 years, I think, some such like that. The point of the matter is that Uub is only maybe like, no, I think it's a little bit further than that. Uub's probably like 5 in this world, probably halfway there. Dende makes a point to bring up when Uub becomes of age, you have to be the one to teach him how to fight and guide him along the right path, Goku. And Goku's like, why? And then Dende explains he's the reincarnation of Evil Boo. See, this is really big because at the end of Z, when they go to that tournament and Goku meets Uub, Goku has this like, oh, that's the reason I'm going to this tournament. That's the reason I want to fight this kid. I want to see what he's got capable of, and I want to try to guide him. And then that's why right after he fights against Uub in the tournament, he almost immediately like, let's go and train. So it's not something Goku came up with on the fly, like, hey, you're pretty strong, let's go train with me. He probably remembered the words that Dende told him in this episode, and he had like 5 years to ruminate on that, and then thought about, okay, when because even in this episode, Goku's like, I'm not good at training, I'm not good at doing that. That's what Goku tells him. But after like years and years of thinking about this, Goku is like, you know what, I'm gonna meet this kid, and I'm gonna probably think about what I'm going to do to train him. It's setting shit up for later on that's already been explained back in the fucking 90s. I know, I love that. I love that shit. Well, anyway, they finally arrive at the island with 17. And the island that 17 is on is basically just an entire nature preserve. I originally thought 17 was living on this island, but he is, and he's living with his family on another island. By the way, we don't get to see his family, but at least they mention it as part of the story. He has a wife, and he has 3 children, 2 of which are adopted. That's the information we got in the interview with Toriyama. They don't actually show them. The closest we get is 17 literally just takes out his fucking cell phone. He's like, geez, you want to see my kids, Goku? There you go. See, there's my freaking family album. We don't actually get to see them, you know, but that's good enough for me. It's fine, because they're probably not going to play a big role anyway. Anyway, this island is filled with a bunch of rare animals that are just constantly hunted by these band of, like, eco-terrorists with fucking laser tanks. Like, they are freaking balls to the wall with this shit. Like, this is like an episode of, like, Captain Planet. Like, remember that shit? Captain Planet, when, like, all the supervillains in the world only care about polluting and poaching and fucking, like, yeah, we will ruin the planet. I'm Duke Nukem or something. I forget the names of that. Like, wasn't, like, Sludgely was, like, one of them, and they would go to these insane lengths. Like, I'm gonna build a giant robot that shoots sludge into the Mediterranean Sea. I'm an evil dick. It's that kind of level of 80s nonsense we're dealing with here. Goku arrives on the island. 17's in the middle of taking out a bunch of fucking poachers with rocket launchers and laser rifles and tanks. And then after Goku meets 17, they have a little bit of a back and forth where 17 already knows who he is. In this rather funny piece of dialogue that he brings up whenever Goku's like, you already know who I am right away, I could tell. And 17's like, well, we never met, but I know your voice, among other things too. And all I'm thinking about is there was a scene in the Abridged when they made a joke about that, how 17 was saying to Jiro, like, is like, you just kept, like, Jiro was fucked up, so he just added, like, a line in whenever 17 was asleep in his, like, subconscious, like, kill Son Goku, kill Son Goku. So that's what I thought of, like, 17's having flashbacks to whenever he was, like, you know, being constructed by Jiro, and he just has a track of Goku's voice in the background, you know, just, you know, and just, like kill this kid, amongst other things. So 17, obviously, he knows everything about Goku that was gathered by Jiro through the years when Goku was a child training and then going through the World Martial Arts Tournament. He knows everything that Cell knows everything that Jiro knows about him, his takedown of the Red Ribbon Army. You know, he knows all that shit. But, you know, he's reformed. There's no reason to really fight him anymore, so he's just like, you know, you want to help me take out these poachers? Then there's a freaking just an entire army of these fucks. Just like the big... And I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, number one, how are they getting to this island? Because this island is literally out in the middle of the freaking ocean. And literally, these guys would have had to, like, suit up an entire army platoon to be like, alright guys, lock and load. We're getting on that ship at 0600 and we're going to this island. Okay, sir, what are we doing on the island? Are we mining for gold? Nope. We trying to take out a leader of some sort of, like, organization, like president of a country? Nope, we're not taking over a country. Lock and load. We're getting a horn off of a fucking giant goat. Alright, let's do this. And it's like, you'd think, though, after the first wave of people went, because 17 mentions, like, this is a common problem for them. People keep showing up to this island to want to kill this rare animal called a Minotaur. and you know, it's like a giant mountain goat with the huge antlers. And 17's like, yeah, they keep doing this. Like, this is a daily occurrence here. These fucks keep coming to this island. You think after the first, second, third, fourth, fifth wave of these people that keep dying, and 17's not keeping this a secret. You can clearly see, like, he'll show up and just destroy all their machinery. He doesn't kill them, but he just shows up and just wipes the floor with them, destroys every piece of equipment they have, and send them crying back to their mommies. You'd think after this happened 6 or 7 times, they'd be like, alright, we should probably either switch up our game or just stop trying, because the amount of money we're wasting here just isn't worth it. But no, they send an entire freaking platoon at this island. 17 and Goku, of course, wipe them out, no problem. And now we move on to the true bulk of this episode, where Goku, without any context, really just charges right in, like, I just want to see how strong you are. Super Saiyan, let's go! And they just start fighting. Now, here's the only problem I had, and it was the same problem I had with the Krillin fight, that I didn't review that episode, though, so I should feel like I should give you my opinion on this. Now, I'm not going to go into ranting and raving the same way that I think a lot of people did with this, where it was, Krillin stopping Super Saiyan Blue, Kamehameha, what the fuck? Look. I'm just confused as how come Goku doesn't even, like, acclimate it up. He went Super Saiyan, sure, but right after Super Saiyan, he just skips to Blue. I'm like, come on, Goku, like, let's do a little bit of a measuring stick here. Because you don't want to kill these people, right? Like, I'm not a fan of Krillin standing up to Blue. I'm not, because in this realm, we're supposed to be talking about gods, okay? Like, you know, and the idea that a human like Krillin, or even an android like 17, could resist a Kamehameha from Blue, I'm sorry, but this should be in a completely different class. You know, I'm watching the dubbed episodes of Super that are on right now they just started running on Toonami, right? So I'm getting it from both ends, so to speak. I'm getting it from, like, recent episodes, but then later tonight there'll be an episode of Super that's in dub that's only, like, at episode 9, I think, tonight. We're just wrapping up the battle with Goku versus Beerus, and that was in Super Saiyan God form, and it was such a big deal because it's like these godly powers are clashing, and this is a whole new level, and the episode where Goku goes into Super Saiyan God is treated with such gravitas, like this is a level beyond anything. Goku, I'm simply asking you, like, if Super Saiyan isn't enough, okay, let me test. Okay, 17, you beat Super Saiyan pretty well. Let's amp it up to 2. And then, oh, you can handle 2? Let's amp it up to 3. Oh, you can handle even 3. Okay, I'll throw my God power at you, base God power, and see how you stand up to that. Like, do it, like don't just, like, blow your load in Blue. That just seems like massive overkill, you know what I mean? Like, and it just doesn't give all the other forms a time to shine now. Now it's just always, it's kind of like, the more you use the form, the more it gets watered down, you know? Like, oh shit, Super Saiyan God Blue, like, this was a big, oh god damn it, it's not even on the poster, come on! Super Saiyan Blue, you don't even throw it on the poster, damn it. Oh, that was gonna be epic and everything like that, damn it. Alright, well anyway, my point of the matter is, in Resurrection of F, when we saw that, that was a big deal. But if you just jump to, like, Super Saiyan and then just skip 3 transformations and then go to Blue, and that's all we see, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Goku just, he goes Super Saiyan 17, they have this epic, it's in front of a sunset backdrop, I mean, it just looks so damn awesome. And they're clashing for a little bit, the highlight of which is that 17 does these successive, like, gut punches to Goku, where he just, like, bam, 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 and just keeps shooting him higher and higher, breaks through the freaking cloud layer. And Goku's like, my freaking stomach. And then, okay, then he just jumps to Blue. Then he uses the Kamehameha, which is like the same thing he did with Krillin, basically. Like, that's Goku's marker for being in the Tournament of Power. Goku, look, buddy, I understand it's a Tournament of Power. It's against fucking people that are on a level that, some of which are on a level that you've never dealt with before. But it's not all about sheer strength. Okay, it isn't. And not everybody in the Tournament of Power is going to be on the same level as Topo or Jiren or on the godly or hit or the godly powers that you have. Not everybody in this tournament's going to have that level. Obviously, people like Tien or, well, I don't know though, because Tien's episode's probably going to be coming up soon. You know what? I'm actually looking forward to that. I don't know why. Maybe just because I like Tien more than Krillin, but I'm actually looking forward to Goku going fucking, all right, let me test your metal, Kamehameha, Super Saiyan Blue. I'm actually looking forward to that shit. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Master Roshi couldn't resist that. Oh, but Master Roshi has cunning and wisdom, so that's different. So he doesn't have to be strong. So right there, I mean, I'm just saying. Go Super Saiyan 2, and then 3, and then you think 3, Krillin resisting a Kamehameha from Super Saiyan 3, that is obviously more believable than Blue, and I can feel a few people getting mad at that, but I could at least, alright, Krillin, maximum power, sort of holds up to a Kamehameha from Super Saiyan 3. Okay, Krillin is way stronger than that's something I can at least get behind. I can't get behind the Blue thing. And I know he didn't resist it completely, but he did for a little bit, and that should be, it's god power. He shouldn't at all, period. Sorry, Krillin. So, 17 uses the energy shield shit that he used against Piccolo. When Piccolo, he was using his Hell Zone grenade shit all directions, and then 17 summoned up this energy sphere shield fucking, protection barrier thing. And he used that against the Kamehameha, and at first it looked like it broke through it, but then 17 just shows up again, completely unscathed, and continues the fight with Goku. So he did resist it. Krillin sort of, but then didn't. 17 did. He straight up resisted Kamehameha from Super Saiyan Blue. Now I'll take that a little bit greater than I did with Krillin, but I mean, because, 17 is obviously, base stronger than Krillin, and he's got the extra parts, which may or may not be illegal, so you might want to keep that under the wraps when you're talking to the, you might not know how Zeno might, or the Grand Priest might feel about that. It's like, oh, they're machines. No, they're not machines. They're half human. Yes, but they're machines. Disqualified. Be gone with you. Anyway, the end of the episode, Goku and 17 have the chat with the family, like, here's my kids or anything. And then Goku asks him to join the tournament, and 17 says, no, the same thing like other people did, no, I'm not going to join your tournament, I have to stay here. And Goku's like, oh, well, I can have Goten and Trunks protect this place for 2 hours while you go off and fight, it's not a big deal. 17's like, no, I can't trust them with them, so I'm going to have to wait, no, I can't do that, I'm sorry, find someone else to go to the tournament. And that's when Goku decides to finally, I think he does it by accident, actually. But he tells him, if we lose, the universe gets erased. Now, obviously, I was thinking, okay, 17 has a family and kids, and he's trying to protect this place with this. By the way, it's the last Minotaur on the Earth is this animal that has these horns, and that's the reason all these poachers were trying to kill it. I wouldn't even bring this up if it wasn't a fucking critical point at the end of the episode. Go figure, right? Well, it's he's got this island to protect, he's got a family, and he's changed himself. Obviously, he would want to join now, and he's like, no, I don't. Because his logic is, well, if the universe is going to get erased, at least I don't care about that, we're all going to get erased at the same time then. It'll all be instant, so there's no suffering. So no, I'm not joining, bye. Now, obviously, we know he's going to join, because he's in the fucking opening credits, and the cutaways, which, I mean, you could say they might have spoiled that a little bit, but whatever, I mean, I don't care. The end of the episode, weirdest thing out of nowhere, obviously, all you need, that's another misstep. I mean, obviously, all you had to use was, my family's going to get killed, this whole island, so, let me get this straight, he doesn't care if the entire island just gets wiped out, as long as he gets wiped out and all the other as long as everything else gets wiped out. But he only cares if this island gets wiped out and no one else. It's just weird. But anyway, at the end of the episode, a freaking alien ship arrives next to Earth with a bunch of aliens we've never seen before, and this big hulking guy with a vampire cape. And they're there to hunt the Minotaur, which was on that island. Okay. So, number one, the timing of this, absolutely perfect. Like, just when Goku arrives on this island to recruit 17, and that's when the aliens decide to descend. But also, let's think about this. Aliens from a far-off star are aware of the fauna that are the rare ecosystem on the planet Earth, specifically this tiny-ass island. Well, it's a decent-sized island, but this island out in the middle of the ocean on the southern part of the Earth, and a specific species that's on that island. Not even a species, because there's only one left, although I don't think they know that. And they're like, yeah, let's go to that island on that planet. We've traveled light years for this, just for a chance to eat that fucking mythical goat. This sounds like a fucking South Park plot to me. This sounds like aliens are... This would be as ridiculous if it's like aliens from the Andromeda galaxy traveled millions of light years to our galaxy, to our solar system, to our planet, just for a chance to eat the rare endangered fucking black rhino or something. Like, that's the level of ridiculous this is. This is like a Captain Planet episode. Oh, man. So I don't even know, but here's the kicker. I would say, oh, that's how 17's gonna join up. But I don't even know, because what makes these alien poachers any different from regular poachers? The alien poachers show up and you know, like, they're still gonna kick their asses. They're no different from the regular poachers. I just don't get what this is. What, like, I would say, oh, the aliens arriving. That'll be the change of events that gets 17 to go to Goku's side. Why? Just because 17 realizes, man, there's a lot of dicks out there in the universe. Sure, I'll join you. Okay. I don't get it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I honestly don't. They threw a curveball at me. I thought it was going to be simple, like, yep, I don't want the island to get destroyed, I don't want my kids to get destroyed, sure, I'll join up, brofist, boom. Whatever, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that was the episode, and we end on that note with the aliens descending to eat the rare endangered Minotaur. Okay, they were going to wrap this up. I mean, if nothing else, it's a two-parter, which is cool. You know, it's not just like, okay, 17's joining by. I guess we'll get some more scenes with him, and that's interesting. It's cool. Oh, by the way, almost forgot to mention this. I don't know if they're going to try to make this his normal musical track or whatever, but his theme in this, fucking metal. It is metal. Reminds me of, like, some 80s Terminator shit going on. Like, there's, like, electric guitars and shit when he's around. And, it's pretty damn metal. 17's always been one of the... I think the whole reason Toriyama designed him was the first two androids, Jiro and 19, they were, like, rejected by his editor. Like, these guys, they look too goofy. They can't be the main villains. So then Toriyama goes away and designs, like, two characters that are more cool and hip and with it. And, so that's what 17 really represents. But, yeah, I love the episode, love the exposition, love the little added stuff in there, like the lookout being able to move and the talk about Uub and the 17's family. And, yeah, the only thing weird was the fact that, once again, I said the power scale issue here with Super Saiyan Blue being like a measuring stick now. And then, of course, the ending where 17's just like, I don't care if everything's wiped out as long as it's all wiped out together. So he's a nihilist, I guess. I don't know. He looks like one to me, I mean, at the first glance, but I don't judge. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and comment, all that good shit. Let me know what you guys thought about Dragon Ball Super episode 86. Sorry, got sevens on the mind. All right, let's see what good old Ju Nananago he's got going on here. All right. Yeah, you guys have a good night. Later.